Hello friends and bees and friends who are also bees, and welcome to this week's Final Fantasy XIV stream. I'm still getting set up, sorry for the delay. I lost track of time and I've realised that OBS still seems to not want to pick up my webcam. So, fun and games. But hello, welcome to this week's Final Fantasy XIV stream. We are going to be exploring Amaurot. I'm just going to try a thing super quickly to see if my face cam is working. So we're going to be just hanging out on this starting soon screen for just a little bit longer, I'm afraid, while I try and get that set up. But yeah, the plan is to go through the Amaurot section of the story. Hopefully we will get the last dungeon and trial done. I think that'll bring us quite neatly and nicely to a sort of end point in the story of this game, so that, you know, when I get back off my holidays, week after next, we can pick up from there. I'm also hoping we'll find out soon some news about when 5.3 will be out, because that'll be good and nice. So yeah, sorry for the delay. Just trying to set up a thing, see if it will work. In the meantime, I'll get myself logged on. Please wait and try again later. The hell does that mean? Whatever. Listen, clearly it's like real technical issues time. So I will just yell. The valid use of my time, right? There we go. Well, I've been allowed into the game, so that's a start. About any of these things. I just want to open the program and try and get... God, I forgot how much I love the load screens for Amaurot. I'm swapping over to the GP, even though it's going to be kind of awkward for a bit, because I haven't got the sound up yet. But system config. There we go, we can sit here and enjoy the music for a bit. Also, I renamed my burb. My burb is now Ashtoreth, and I redid their thing, you know, their stuff, their stuff. Right. Okay. Well, I don't know why this is being like that. Ah, never mind. I do have to have this open. That's good. It seems to not want to. Is that better? Is that picking up my face now? What if I... Alright, I'm going to keep an eye on it. The other thing I'm going to keep an eye on is that we've actually got frames. Because nothing can be trusted at the moment. Right, I'm just going to minimize the Logitech program, but keep it open. I'm going to see if I've got frames. Jesus, for a second I thought I had a blank screen again. Right. I seem to have frames and everything. Brilliant. Right, well, we can pick up where we left off. So anyway, when we left off last week, I'm sorry for the 10-minute delay in getting started, but we got there eventually. When we left off last week, we had so I forgot to say a thing. I'm sorry, I forgot to say the very important thing. Throughout this stream and throughout the rest of June, possibly beyond, we'll be raising money for the Bale project via Tiltify. The link will have just appeared in chat, if I can spell fundraiser correctly. Ah, for fuck's sake. And, if you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be down in the description. The reason I just said, ah, for fuck's sake, is because I broke the shift key on my keyboard, and now if I hit it, I have to use a nail file to dig it back out again. Because I am a responsible adult human who can do things. Anyway, if you want to donate a couple of dollars, pounds, euros, or other money, the link is there. I can finish the rest of my intro off now that I've resolved my technical issues, hopefully. When we left off last week, we had just made it to Amaurot. We were just trying to work out what this strange city that we found is. I did, off camera, go and get the last ether currents, so we're just getting those from quests. And then I parked us back over here in the Macarena angle, so we can continue investigating this truly lovely city that is just absolutely stunning. There's a puggy. I wasn't expecting a pug's worth. We can continue investigating, seeing what the shit is going on. An audience with Emmett Selk? I'm afraid you have the wrong office, little one. Besides, you'll be far too busy to fill the questions of curious children. Surely you've been told of the looming catastrophe. Every resource available to the convocation must be spent upon ensuring our world survives. They have yet to make an official announcement, but it's said that the 14 are moving forward the plan of scarce credible proportions, one which promises to grant will to the very star itself. They will invoke our mighty spells of creation to birth an entity of all-encompassing magnificence, and then they will rewrite the laws of existence. 'Tis a huge undertaking, it must be completed ere the corruption spreads this far. Thus I say to you again, do not hold out hope for an audience. By the way, the name of my bow, Ashtoreth, is because that's the name of the goddess that the original version of Ashard from the Secret World Legends worshipped. His name was Ashard Keprati Ashtoreth, or Ashard Keprati Ashtoreth, because I was able to fuck about with the names that way. So, finally got round to renaming his bow to be a little reference to that. Good gracious, child, where is your family? You should not be alone at a time like this. Run along home, quickly now. Have you not heard? They're yet confined to the lands across the sea. A terrible phenomenon afflicts our star. They are calling it the final days. It's said it starts suddenly, a cacophonous keening from beneath the earth. The sound distorts all living things within earshot, and wrests from us control of our creation magics. Once that happens, all is lost. Fear, pain, despair, every dread impulse is siphoned from our minds and given substance, an eternal fall of fiery rain, an incessant spawning of nightmarish beasts. None can point to the source of the phenomenon. It is as if the star itself has fallen ill, as if a force inimical to life now festers and spreads. It is only a matter of time until Amaurot too resounds to that discordant squall. You should stay with your loved ones, child. Stay with them. So I can't remember if this was ever mentioned, like, in the game as to what this was, but my headcanon has always been that the cause behind the I think my bow would be able to fly higher with these massively heavy wings. My headcanon always been that the cause behind gestures is that they were basically imagining too much, imagined too hard, and that's the issue. I don't know whether that's true or not, but that's always what I imagined. 'Twould seem the hall is host to our most precocious visitor this day, and what, pray tell, should be the subject of a discussion, young one? How to get an audience with your boss. The complication and the handling of the coming peril. It is only natural that you should have questions. Should we begin with the members themselves? As all know, the 14 are the wisest and most puissant amongst us. They're the stewards of order, responsible for decisions which keep the star turning season after season. Be it the speaker, La Habrea, or the emissary, Elidibus, each seat is occupied by an elected sage of surpassing intellect. Logrif, Metron, Emetzelk. Their individual titles have, as a gesture of respect and matter of tradition, become synonymous with their incumbents. Thus it is with great incredulity that I greet this recent rumour that a seat in the convocation is soon to be left vacant. If proven true, would be an unprecedented development, in testament to the immense pressure under which our saviours are toiling. In any event, I for one am confident they shall deliver our star unto salvation. I do like the amount of emphasis this game places on 14. It's like, did you know that we are Final Fantasy 14? What with our 14 planets and our 14 members of the convocation? It is nicely done though. Right. We can go chat 12 for now. I cannot help but see in this city the city from Kingdom Hearts 2, whatever it was called, I can't remember anymore. What have you got to say, Alizé? I was never very fond of being treated like a child, but it did make asking questions less suspicious. Ashard, if it was not certain before than I am now, people of the city believe they face the end of the world. I cannot imagine what purpose compelled Emetzelk to recreate this ancient Amaurot, and yet I fancy I hear his words to us echoing through this ocean trench. He would have his story known. Spell speed, I guess. Why did I pick up spell speed? I'm stupid. I thought skill speed and then did spell speed. Compare notes once the others return. Hopefully then our next move can become clear. Okay. So here's all the shit that we found out. Twould seem our conversations were much alike. A looming disaster, creation magics running rampant, and this convocation's effort to bring salvation out of chaos. I saw as there was talk of little else in the time when these events came to pass. Ah, Yoriange, if I may, what are your thoughts on the ancients' art of creation? A fascinating discipline indeed. All the mind can conceive may be rendered in reality. All that is required is a clear concept upon which to focus one's will. It is not dissimilar to the primal rites taught by the Asians, wherein ritual ceremony breatheth life into figments of myth and legend. I see we arrived at the same conclusion then. The people who lived in the age before the Sundering were blessed with vast reserves of mana. No matter how draining these creation magics must be, seems to pay the cost with naught more than a fraction of the ether which course through their own bodies. If we were to attempt the same, such spells would soon deplete our energies and then seek to draw the balance from elsewhere, from a hoard of crystals mayhap, or the very land itself. Been there, done that. When the star creation was placed into our hands, it became, in effect, a means for destruction. Shadows of Mark. An interesting matter which no doubt bears further study, but despite all these revelations, I worry we are no closer to finding them at Zelk. Has anyone learned aught which might lead us to his location? Not directly, mayhap, but from what we've heard, it seems a convocation of the 14 sequestered in the nearby Capitol building. When we went to see for ourselves, the attendant would have let us through without writ permission, so we tried our luck at the Bureau of the Administrator, where we thought those permissions might be issued, but the clerk there said he couldn't help us since our names didn't appear in the registry. And that was where we gave up. I wonder though, Ashard, could you be eligible for one of these writs? Voice in the Nif seemed to know who you were. Might be that your name is registered in the bureaus as well. Worth a look, I'd say. Illegal aliens. I'll head back to the capital and search for a less official point of entry, just in case. Pray allow me to accompany thee on their reconnaissance. An arcane perspective may prove needful. I'd like to speak some more with these ancients. Mayhap they know something that could help cure Ashard's condition. Would you mind coming with me? Of course, I don't mind. Just lead the way. Good Alizé and Reen, you guys need friends your own age. Stop hanging out with us. Then Ishola and I will busy ourselves with further exploration. There is surely more intelligence to be had. And so we part ways once more. This time, however, let us reconvene in front of the capital. I've lost the ability to speak words, which is very unhelpful, both in life and in general. Right. Let's unlock some ether currents, right? Those garments you're wearing, they're your own original concepts, I take it. Clearly they must be, given their rather singular flamboyance. I'd never dream of stifling a fledgling creator's creativity, but to parade about in your cultivated individuality is hardly praiseworthy. An Amaurot team of characters shares their creations with the community. They do not hoard them for their use alone. To delight in disparity is a mark of the morally deficient. Disparity engenders feelings of want and resentment, which degrade the bonds of fellowship. Thus we encourage creators to share and share alike, else we risk kindling the embers of covetousness and violence that ever smoulder in the heart of all. I must implore you, little one, to cast aside your original trappings and don the communal robes, that you might acquit yourself as an equal amongst many. In doing so, you will be afforded greater respect and autonomy. Worry not, for this will be a simple affair. I recall seeing a gentle soul outside the Hall of Rhetoric carrying robes perfectly suited for one of your diminutive stature. I'm sure they'll be glad to share their wealth with you. But do hurry, little one. The eyes of the collective are ever watching and weighing your worth. It is Annie. Hi, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good day. We are, as the title suggests, wandering around in Amaurot, seeing what the haps are, or, really in my case, picking up ether current quests, because then I'll be able to fly around the Tempest, which will make life much easier, rather than having to sort of plod slowly around as I am at the moment. Oh no. I know the feeling. I am, in the office tomorrow, and then I'm off for a week because it's my birthday on Sunday, and I am so excited just to get some rest. Greetings and welcome to the Bureau of the Architect. Are you in need of assistance? It'd be my pleasure to answer any questions you might have. To your left is the counter where you may submit registrations for new creations. To your right you'll find the counter where you may requisition concepts on file. Am I correct in assuming you're not familiar with the services we provide? I see. A more detailed explanation is in order then. You understand that by harnessing the powers of creation we can give physical form to all manners of concepts, yes? Yes. Picture a bouquet of fresh, fragrant flowers, all the colours of a rainbow. Now picture those self-same flowers formed of a delicate crystal, impossibly fragile and radiating hues beyond the visual spectrum. Every day our people push the boundaries of imagination to conceive of new and striking designs. But there are limits of what a single individual can shape with their abilities alone. Those who harbour great ambitions may offer their concepts to others, here that they may with the strength of many accomplish what one cannot. Oh no. Concerned cat. My computer in general has been very wonky recently, so I know the feel. Not all concepts are approved for wider distribution, of course. Dangerous, subversive creations pose risk to everyone, so it's only after a comprehensive evaluation, after a concept is judged to further the greater good, that we permit it to be shared with the community. Do you understand, little one? I mean, more so. I think it might benefit from conversing with some of the others currently availing themselves of our services. Why don't you go and speak with some of the other citizens waiting for the registrations to be processed? Much as I'd like to believe my explanation was more than sufficient, I expect you may gain a greater insight this way. You got it. Talk to bees. Run around very slowly. So small. To get a screenshot, obviously. So is it to see one of your size roaming about here? Come to learn about the Bureau, are we? I'm here today to rescue a new creature. Boneless and with semi-translucent skin, it drifts through the air like a dancer on a summer breeze, its tentacles trailing behind. It utilises gas bladders to propel itself from place to place, you see. I'll admit it's not the most elegant of designs. I'd not shed a tear if it were rejected, quite frankly. But what can I say? I take pleasure in conceiving unorthodox designs. A beginner like you shouldn't take after me, though. If you're looking to pick up a few tips, you should probably ask someone else. Is that my number they just called? If you'll excuse me. I love Amaurot as a city. It's such a cool idea for a place. Just click on my bow. You the child who was speaking with the attendant earlier? I thought so. So young and already so eager to learn about concepts and creations. That curiosity will serve you well, little one. Been credited with a few popular concepts, I'm proud to say. I'm hoping that my latest will be equally well received. Autonomous figures. I say my latest, but really it's a product of many others' efforts and individual insights. But such is the case for every masterwork, I reckon. Autonomy notwithstanding, these creations know no fear. They're wholly devoid of emotion and will without hesitation or resistance engage in any dangerous activity, even if death is assured. There is a beauty in that, I think, and I hope the officials do so as well. I tell you, there's nothing more nerve-wracking and thrilling than the waiting period, before you receive the results. I love and hate it in equal measure. That's all I've got to say about it. If you're still keen to learn more, why not pass that worrywart over yonder? Come to think of it, I think that particular creation was designed to appeal to children. You there, an aspiring creator come to learn about the Bureau and its inner workings, I trust. That's all well and good, but since you're here, perhaps you can help me with a little something. I've been refining a concept of mine for some time now, adorable little creatures designed to be the perfect plaything for any young citizen, but I'm still terribly unsure if it's ready to be submitted for approval, which is why I was hoping you might first put it through its paces and tell me what you think. Your honest opinion. I'll have no flattery from you, young man. Matrix will allow you to summon creations, but don't use it here. Take it outside first, and don't be afraid to play rough. It's all part of the fun. All part of the fun. Head up this way. I have, fucked up my arm somehow. Don't know how. But if you see me wincing or if you see me shaking my hand out, it's me trying to unfuck my hand. I think it's my normal issues. I'm just concerned about how it happened because it seems to be when I clasp my hands like this is when it really hurts. So, obvious answer, don't do that, but don't believe in obvious. Come on. Me. Let's go. They're really cool. I really like Amaurot, and I like the idea of this. I feel like of my characters, more so Maeve, it would appeal to them. The idea of a city and like a culture devoted exclusively to like down I go. I'll hand that in a second. I'm gonna go over this way next. Because then I can go do greater purpose at the same time. The idea of a city and like a place, a culture dedicated just to learning and like creating ideas. That's a very Maeve thing more than an Arshad thing. Arshad doesn't really know how he feels about it, but I never noticed the dialogue that the playthings have before. Give me some clothes, meow. We're looking rather smart this evening. What can I do for you, little one? Someone said you'd be able to give me some clothes. Robes and serve in lieu of your ensemble? Ah, how prudent. Alas, I've nothing I can offer you at this present time. The ones your associates saw me carrying earlier were a failed experiment. I never intended to make them so small, so I disposed of them shortly thereafter. A failed experiment? By your bemused expression, I gather you find it odd that your elders can fail in so simple an application of creation magics. It's more common than you may realise, little one. Instance, a gaggle of children passing by as I held the image of the robes in my mind's eye. Simply by becoming aware of their presence was the form influenced and the final product changed. All things considered, it could have been worse. Just the other day I was attempting to conceive a white-haired lion when all of a sudden this exquisite eagle alighted on the nearby railing, giving me quite the shock, and dramatically altering the initial concept. It was a most unexpected development, but not an altogether unwelcome one. Great strides are often born from unexpected impetus. Even inspiration has its limits. For all the wonders we've wrought, I do wonder if there'll come a time when we have fully explored the potential of our powers, when there's nothing truly left unmade, and only iteration and imitation and stagnation remain. Such esoteric matters need not concern you, little one. For now, I'd encourage you to embrace your creativity and work your magics without fear of failure. Bid us to don the appropriate robes to avoid excess scrutiny. Why don't you go to the Bureau of the Architect and request the appropriate concepts so you can fashion one yourself? Yes, definitely that is a thing that I can do. Something keeps... It's my... Oh, It is my phone making noises. I'm sorry. I'm also sorry that I just managed to smash my phone against my headset. If you heard a bit of weird double feedback, my phone insisted on making noise. She'd come to debate at so young an age. How wonderful. She retired to the benches and settled on a topic. My apologies for jumping to conclusions. My friends are not quite as fond of the Hall of Rhetoric as I am, so I have a habit of chatting up any potential conversation partners. You're not here to debate. I presume you're here to learn about the mysterious and esoteric goings-on here. It would be my pleasure to act as your tutor in these matters, if you'll indulge me. Its name indicates a place where citizens may freely gather to discuss and debate all manner of topics. Central forum is ideal for open discourse, but smaller rooms are available for those desiring more intimate conversation. Oh, and there is a wealth of reading material concerning rhetorical techniques in history penned by the greatest minds on offer as well. Should you wish to refine your techniques through self-study, not the discourse. Rhetoric is living, breathing thing that is best experienced in the moment of conception and execution. Perhaps a demonstration would best serve to further education. Saw a contemporary of mine engaged in a lively debate earlier, just outside the hall. Go see if they're still there, and issue to them my personal invitation to a friendly battle of wits. Yeah, Arshad is I mean, he's generally unhappy about everything. But, you know, he's doing this just to get the ether currents, but definitely much better for Maeve. Precisely my point. The recession with the so-called mandate to approve only the most beneficial concept for wider distribution, never mind the ridiculous subjectivity of the criteria, has led the Bureau of the Architect to stray from its original purpose. Hey you, come do an argument for me. Business with me, child? Regardless, I'm in the middle of a heated discussion with my partner. Come back later. Intrinsic value of unique identity and whether or not it's retained. I posit that the reproductions of a given concept are inherently imperfect and thus they're themselves unique, albeit in minor but significant degrees, and most importantly, this hiccup is not to be condemned but celebrated. Better that than to strive in vain for an impossible standard that, even if met, would leave us lesser for lack of diversity. Utterly deaf to you and your pleas for attention. Meow meow meow. Meow like an oyster cat. Stubborn little bugger. Strange endearing, I must admit. But you've all the time in the world. Why are you so insistent I speak to you this very instant? Well, actually we don't, but, suppose a duo of them a debate or two. Now's as good occasion of any. So be it. I just like being around here. I like the music, I like the design of the city. I'm all for it. Thank you, little one. Without further ado, let us commence the promised debate. I'm gonna sit like a gremlin. As to the matter of what subject we debate today, I propose the recent calamity which has befallen our friends across the pond. What say you? Singular point of contention is, of course, whether or not Amaurot should intervene on their behalf. I believe we should. The scale of the disaster which threatens that distant metropolis is of a scale heretofore unseen, so equally considerable resources must be committed to counteracting its effects. I want to know more about this place. The scale concerns me less than the nature of the proposition itself. Who are we to unilaterally intervene in the affairs of those half a world away? Are we to be the saviours of one and all? Such arrogance may well lead to our own downfall. I understand your concerns from a philosophical standpoint. I feel you're too quick to dismiss practical considerations out of a desire to maintain an unassailable moral authority. Let us you and I hold over for the present, not for the floor to our young student. You've heard the opening salvos in this debate concerning the fate of our neighbours across the sea. What is your opinion on the matter? Cannot save everyone. Sometimes it is all we can do to save ourselves. That's absolutely Arshad's viewpoint. I just noticed that I am a great adult human being who spilled tomato juice on my shirt. That's great. Wonderful. Maids, babes, and sucklings are varnished truth and purest wisdom. One must first look to one's own welfare before that of others, and the same must be said about distant neighbours and some dialogue I missed. Basically, self-interest take precedence. Consider it the lost benefit to Amaurot. There is clear and undeniable value in using the situation as a testbed for our newest creations, so that we might develop and refine our defences against a potential threat to our own city. Plea to practicality, I see, and one which you doubtless believe I have given you ample cause to invoke. You misrepresent my arguments as enlightened self-interest, when in truth it is a rather more nuanced position. I find it really cool. I also, yes, desperately want to know more about this metropolis across the sea. I wonder if that's something we'll investigate more later on. It's been far too long since I engaged in such a refreshing exchange of ideas. My colleague was equally delighted by the opportunity, you may be assured. Some decry it as little more than an academic exercise. After all, we failed to reach meaningful consensus. But I dare say they missed the forest for the trees. Are we not more enlightened by the experience? Have you not been exposed to a greater variety of viewpoints? Is there not value in this alone? Do you believe we're blessed to be part of a society that exalts the free exchange of ideas and encourages active participation in the public discourse? May have been your first foray into the exciting world of rhetoric. I sense you have the soul of a debater in you. May well have the potential to change Amaurot in ways no one ever thought possible. Shall be watching your trajectory with great interest, my young friend. Possibly. I don't know. I strongly feel in my bones that we are going to be going to Garlemald's next expansion. This is going to sound really dumb. I've been listening to a lot of, if I say the phrase cyberpunk music, that does not make sense, but if you imagine like queer futuristic cyberpunk games, the music that soundtrack those, I've been listening to a lot of that recently, and it's put me really in the mood for a sort of futuristic noir type game, and given that, you know, say Stormblood could function perfectly well without the magic, whereas this is a more traditional high fantasy expansion. I'd sort of like a change and a change to a different genre of story, I guess. And I personally think a spy story would be great. And that's why I think we're going to Garlemald next expansion. With this delightful and engaging as I hoped, tell me everything. Well, I fought some jellyfish and they tried to kill me. Attacked you like mad beasts. How distressing, not at all like what I intended. My sincerest apologies to you, little one, for the unpleasant experience. Still, from these experiences do we grow and stronger and wiser. Look forward to the day when you'll try your hand at creation too. God, we are... I love how small we are compared to these guys. Especially as Zashard is like almost as tall as I could get him. Are you here to request a concept for personal use? If so, what sort of concept did you have in mind? I was told I need to buy some robes because my armour isn't good enough. But before I feel request, I should caution you. Pardon me for asking, but your creative potential is relatively low, is it not? We're trained to assess these things, and I fear you do not possess the ability to express this concept in physical form. It's almost as though you completely lack it, though that can't possibly be. You needn't worry. We have special tools that may be used to address this very eventuality. Furnish you with an etheric rope you can use to restrain one of the misbegotten cubuses that will congregate in the plaza north of the Academia Nida. You need to awaken your quarry before you can reliably bind them. Once you have, you can repurpose their energies to create your own robes. Okay, let's go do the thing. I really like Shadowbringers as an expansion. I think it's a really good expansion. And it's because I think it's so good that I'm like confident in saying I wish, I don't know, there are things, always more world building. It's like the more questions that are raised, the more questions I have to ask, and those questions are all world building-y questions. You know, it's like, hey, what does this like actually mean? What's this other metropolis of which you speak? Rashad spends the whole time of all of these side quests just going, I don't care, just teach me how to fly. That's all I want, is for me to learn more about what's going on from you and as a result learn how to fly. That's what I'm about. Not any of this shit. I'm genuinely also surprised to see people running around Amaurot, because I feel like whenever I've been back here on Maeve, it's been empty unless it's patch day and there's a reason to come down here for story reasons. So, I'm glad to see people around. Don't tell me it's too far away, I'm standing in front of him. Did you succeed in binding a Cubus? Rather less than pleased to have been bound and shoved in your pack. Allow me to siphon its energies and prepare the matrix for you. Should only take a moment. Here you are, creation matrix you may use to generate your own robes. Upon the crystal which have been infused with the ether of the beast you brought me. Look at me as you don't know how to channel the powers of creation. It is a natural breathing, even a newborn baby's the instinct. Even if your potential is lacking, as one of our people, you must surely know what to do. Yes, I definitely do. Looks around shiftily. I know what to do. Okay, let's go do some main story. Let's go speak to an admin assistant. The responses would just be me doing my customer service voice. Hey up, it's Morgan. What do you want? That's my answering the phone to one of my colleagues' voice. What? Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. I'm busy. And then my answering a client voice is, hello? Yes, I'll definitely help with that. No, I'm not angry or frustrated in the slightest. I will definitely not be going on to Discord as soon as I hang up this call to complain about you to all of my friends. Visitor's writ? Yes, I can assist you. Full name, please. Ashad Kaprati Helone. Please wait near the counter while I confirm your details. Run around in a giant circle to end up back here. Ashad Kaprati Helone, your application is ready for collection. Keep wiggling around. Residence was approved by Amaurot himself. Further forms of identification will not be required. Here are your application documents. Submit them at the Bureau of Secretariat and the clerk will issue with the visitor's writ for the capital. This is honestly so hashtag relatable. This is what it feels like to be at work for me. Like, oh, you've filled in this form? Oh, well, you've got to go submit it to this person and then wait for ages for them to do it. And then you're just going to get frustrated and angry. And that's how it feels to be an admin person in a school. Just endless frustration. Go hang about with some Cubai? That person with their ability to fly. How rude. Yeah. Let that person do their thing. This, I feel like, is one of the most interesting conversations in this expansion, this bit. But it's also one of the bits where I wind up just, like, shaking the game and going, no, give me more information! Hey, you know what, more than anything I'm excited to do? Be able to fly and not be stuck, like, trundling around like I currently am. Even Uncle Midge can only go so fast, and he does not go very fast at all. Next, please. Oops. Visiting capital, are we? Please take a seat. Your name will be called once your application has been processed. Time to climb up onto the bench that's the size of my stomach. The height of my stomach, I should say, not the size of my stomach. Good at words. Ashard also sits cross-legged. May I? No. I need this entire bench for my tiny self only. You are, I think, from a time beyond ours. Have you followed in the wake of Emmett Selk? Hey, nay, there is no cause for alarm. I am simply a shade. Here and not here. I know only that my name is Thlydeus, and that the city is a recreation, a phantom moment plucked from the well of history. Shocked cat. Shocked Ashard. The others seem unaware of their pale existence, but I wonder if Emmett Selk's mind was distracted when it came to my reconstitution. Stray thought would have been enough. Thlydeus will realise the truth. For example, we were close friends once, you see. Yet in spite of my perception, I play the same role as all the rest. A bit part, meant to bring colour and noise to this well-crafted stage. Too much scrutiny, and we shall burst like the fragile bubbles we are. Thus I tell you again, my presence is not to concern you. I wish only to share your company whilst we wait. I'd hate to be in this situation, personally. If you come this far, then you know the catastrophe which awaits us on our morrow. The final days. What began as an isolated incident soon swelled into a world-spanning threat. The Convocation of 14, well, it was 13 at the time, endeavoured to create a will for our star. They would repair the fundamental laws of order and halt the spread of destruction. But creation on such a scale required an immense source of power. Of those of us who still lived, nearly half offered up their lives in the name of salvation. And from their sacrifice, Zodiac was born. Just as we had hoped, he reached forth and halted the march of the oblivion. Yet how the star had suffered, so many species lost, the land was blighted, the waters poisoned, and even the wind had ceased to blow. Once more did our people give themselves to Zodiac. Another half of our race sacrificed to cleanse the world, to ensure that trees and grasses and myriad tiny lives would sprout, grow, and flourish. The cycle of life had begun anew, and we reconsidered the means by which we might protect it. Keep accidentally skipping past this dialogue, sorry. Convocation decided thus. We would nurture our world until it was bursting with vitality. Then, when the time was right, we would offer some portion of its living energy to Zodiac. In return, he would restore to us those brethren whose souls had fed his strength, and together we would resume our role as stewards. There were, however, those who disagreed with this plan. They argued that enough had been sacrificed to Zodiac, that this new world should belong to the lives newly born. These dissidents surrendered their life energy to the creation of Hydaelyn, an incarnation of their opposing belief, and for the first time in history, our people stood divided. Know you, then, how this conflict ended? I do, looks around shiftily. I thought you might. Emmett Selk has ever been a champion for the will of Zodiac. The original plan may have been set back by millennia, but he will not have abandoned his course. He will pay the price for our return by whatever means is necessary. And though he may carry himself with certain glib ease, Emmett Selk is not a man to bear his burden lightly. In fact, I imagine they've only grown heavier with every passing century. I feel like I liked Selk a lot more before the Phantom got their claws into him. It is truly a terrible weight he has chosen to carry. Like, here's the thing. Pardon me. If it weren't for the fact that his plan is to murder us all in order to restore his dead friends, I would have much more sympathy to him. Ashard Kaprati Helone. But given that his plan is to, you know, murder all currently existing life, your turn has come. Pray, do not let me keep you. I don't know, I feel like I can't forgive him for that sort of, God, the benches are, I have to like physically jump off. I love it. Especially given that there was one last thing. You walk with another at your side. Yes, yes. I see no definite form, just the faintest suggestion of a second soul. I doubt it visible to anyone but me. Otherwise, I assume only you can see and hear this ethereal companion. Oh, the boy. The Osterbee's boy. Connection is hardly a coincidence. In our time, the two of you were one. The colour of your souls tells the tale. A hue that distinctive cannot be mistaken, no matter how thin the soul is spread. Hue that distinctive, rather. Ha! This is just the kind of fate I may expect for one such as he. Surely itself has recognised the hint of him in you? No idea who the fuck you're talking about. Ashard Kaprati Helone? Fare you well, my new old friend. May you find what it is you seek. Again, another one of those things that's intriguing. I want to know who this person is. Because, like, at the same time, it doesn't matter. Like, even if we had a bit of their soul, that doesn't make us the same person by any means, clearly. Your visit is read, as requested. When you wish to gain admittance to the capital, simply present the document to the attendant within. Soon I will be able to fly. And also move forward with the story, but mostly being able to fly. That's what I care about. I don't know, it is really intriguing, and for me at least, like, the fact that you can have all these different souls, like, split up and very clearly different people, but I want to know who had that bit of the soul originally, and then, like, what bits of the personality got split into what, because, you know, if part of his soul was somebody who had devotion to one thing in particular and really had no interest in doing much of anything else and basically had to be pushed and pulled into doing other stuff, that's the bit that went into Ashard, unlike the bit that went into Ardbert, which is, you know, utterly self-sacrificing and willing to help everybody. And they definitely share the self-sacrificingness, and on the other hand, there's the fact that, like, completely coincidentally, they both could, you know, would and have done great things for a place that hates them. And from my headcanon, certainly, there's still some, you know, some bits of Ishgard that will, you know, view Ashard with suspicion just because of him being an aura. You know, they're getting better, they're by no means great. Ashard. Ishtola and I have just returned from an institution the locals called the Academia Anida. Well, from its public offices at least. We thought Nassian place of learning the ideal spot to research your condition, but it seems we lack the credentials to enter the Academia proper. Good you're here. Everyone seems to be present and accounted for. Master Thancred could best describe our chances for infiltrating the capital. I only hope thine efforts to secure permissions were successful. Finally, you were gone so long was on the verge of mounting a rescue party. How fared you in your bureaucratic ventures? We have an invitation, which is what we needed. I see my instincts were correct. And a good thing too. Yorianche weighed our chances of breaking into the capital, and the official entrance is by far the more attractive option. The capital boasteth not a single armed sentry. It would seem that in their time they did not deem it needful to post guards. The windows and doors, however, appear heavily warded. Though mightily did we strive, with strength mundane and magical, we failed to budge them even a fraction of an ilm. Mayhap 'twas simply the case that Emmett Selk's recreation did not extend their usual function. Or that they're sealed shut. Didn't try everything, of course, but we thought it best to conserve our time and energy for more pressing matters. Speaking of which, Reen and I tried asking about a cure for you. Problem is, these Ascians didn't exist beyond Amaurot today. They will happily tell their own tales, but whenever we attempted to explain our situation, the conversation quickly became muddled. What of you, Ashard? Was aught worthy of interest said during your efforts to obtain a writ? Well, we met this guy who knew what was going on and explained a bit more of the situation to us, and it was very odd. Great sacrifice of life in exchange for their brethren's resurrection. And you say all the Ascian scheming has been leading to this? All this time. But if they still mean to enact this plan, then things won't end with it joining. I thought we knew their intentions in full. Restore the world to its former glory, and in turn empower Zodiac to reclaim his throne as the will of the star. That was merely a step along the way. I hesitate to put it into words, but we have to assume that following the final rejoining, the Ascians mean to draw on the lives of the Source to make their sacrifice to Zodiac. That does seem the most likely scenario. Mayhap those who ally with the Ascians would be spared that fate, but what value is there in surviving when all our history, all our struggles will be erased? I cannot conscience such an act. Of course not, and that's to say naught of Emet plans for the Exarch's power. Do we stand by and let him threaten our future as well as our past? Well, we need to find him, Ashard, and when we do, make your mark. Change the course of history in a way that's felt by those who came before and those who came after, by everyone you've ever met. Change things so that even my other self, dying somewhere in the future calamity, will smile and say, I knew you would win. But no pressure or anything. Is fighting Emet the only way? He created an entire city. It will take everything we have to defeat him, if we even can. At that point, something to do with the light that I misunderstood, didn't click past, rather. Decision to press on lies with you, just as it lies with each and every one of us. Well, why not, you know? Like, at this point, what's there to lose, right? Like, either we die fighting Hades or fighting Emet. Nice, we can fly. Or we die and become a light warden, the ultimate light warden. Reen appears to be brooding over her choices, her faintly trembling hands betraying her mounting trepidation. Thancred stares quietly into the distance. He seems calm and assured, his easy stance born of confidence rather than false bravado. Yonshe glances your way, his expression hesitant. You can see the struggle as he agonizes over the words he wishes to say. Oh, hiccup, sorry. Ishtola meets your gaze with a strained smile. You seem to recall her wearing the self-same expression when speaking with Lisi and Runa. Alphino is lost in thought, his eyes downcast. There is, however, no sign of the self-doubt which once assailed him at the falling snows. Do you remember that talk we had atop the tower in Mordsuk? I'm still of the same mind now as I was then. I don't abandon you, you don't abandon me, and together we make a difference in this fight. There's always hope if we look for it. I saw it again and again as you tore those veils of light from the sky. If we keep taking that next step forward, there's a chance we'll find a way to save you. So no matter how long it takes or how much it hurts, you can count on me to keep on walking. Thanks, Alisei. Valtteri spoke of the disaster we'd bring upon our own heads, the ceaseless conflict. Imagine how we'd sneer to see what's become of the first, not to mention your perilous predicament. And yet who can deny the fire your deeds have ignited in people's hearts? You achieve what my logic and ideals never could, uniting disparate peoples under the banner of hope and a common purpose. Without you, that giant talus would never have raised its head. I bore witness to many such miracles at your side, and would do so again. This is but another obstacle in the road. So come, let us travel it. Drag me through wonder and danger, as you are wont to do, and I shall endeavour not to slow you down. Thanks. As one thou knowest, if we are to usher Emet unto his rest, we must needs bind his Ascian soul, and then shatter it with overwhelming force. The former task requireth oversight, and such have I prepared, upon the Exarch's asking, no less, though 'twas ever mine intent to provide said boon. The future whence our noble friend doth hail is a great world fallen to Ascian artifice, and he would not see such a grim history repeated. In a sense, Emet destruction will be the culmination of the Exarch's efforts, a reward for all he hath endured these many years. Yet even as thou stridest into the jaws of peril, forget not that but his fondest wish, and that of many others besides, is to see thee survive unto the morrow. 'Tis in the pursuit of that happiest of outcomes that I do pledge to remain at thy side. That's very sweet of you, but Sean's you know, he'd like to survive, but I feel like at this point, more than anything, he's just angry. He's angry that he got kidnapped from home and basically is unable to return, is the fiction I've given for him, because otherwise he would not take part in the story. He's angry that he got, you know, pulled into the machinations of a world that he has no attachment to, beyond really the fact that his friends are here, and also he, you know, gets along very well with Ardbert. And he's angry that, you know, that's caused him this pain, and he's angry that, you know, all the effort that he's been forced to put in for so long could all turn to nothing. And so, really, at this point, he's just pressing forward out of sheer anger, just wanting, you know, to know, like, if he dies, he's like, okay, whatever, it would be better for him to die and not become a Light Warden, whereas if he were to fuck off and try and fix this, then die anyway and become a Light Warden, it would just be a complete waste of everything, all the effort he's put in. Our time with the First has been a never-ending succession of trials, as arduous as our path in the Source ever was. Yet through all our journeys together, through that deep and foreboding wood, you have helped me stay true to my convictions. Thus would I return the favour. Do as your heart decrees, without hesitation or regret, and that is all I will say on the matter. This has put everyone in a solemn mood, hasn't it? Honestly, we're not even sure this will be the end of it. I suppose we should speak our mind when we have the opportunity. You taught me that much in our meringue. So forgive me this moment of sentiment, Elshard. By dragging me into this sorry mess, you've given me the chance to think and act as I should have, for Reen's sake. Words cannot express how much this has changed my life, or how grateful I am for your support, so I shall express my gratitude through action instead. No matter where you decide to go, I will be there, guarding your back. Thancred to be emotionally mature, get over himself. When Minfidia entrusted me with the power, she warned me that no matter how strong you become, you can still fall victim to despair. You can still feel powerless. And she was right. After you collapsed on Mount Gulk, my hands wouldn't stop shaking. I skipped that dialogue accidentally, whoops. Even now you could be moments from turning, and I wouldn't know how to save you. You, Thancred, should be ready to do the same for you. And I want to. I do. But I'm not good enough. She told me to follow your example, and I tried. I really tried. I've not followed my example, I'm I'm not asking to be saved. But the light, how can you go on? Oh, someone sent me a tell and it made me jump. Fate can be cruel, but a smile better suits a hero. I think I wound up choosing out all of my characters. I'm not sure Actually, never mind. I think I'll understand it better if I try it for myself. No, nothing will come of breeding here in self-pity. I've made my decision, Ashard. I'm going with you. Reen, you are so small. Must protect the small. The dialogue that I missed is... Made a mistake. If I failed to find the light within you, was terrified you would die. You've all been there when I needed help. Minfidia surrendered her life to me, her legacy. Wonder if this music is available in a what am I looking for? This is what I'm looking for. Equestrian list. Tempest. Somewhere in Northrend. What I was wondering is if this music is available as an orchestrion log. Welcome to the capital. All visitors must present an official writ of permission before admittance will be granted. Good thing I've got just that. Documents appear to be in order. May proceed into the capital, but any guests you may choose to bring with you must remain in your vicinity at all times. You got it. Really fucked up my lighting.
This really is unacceptable. I gave you very specific instructions. Sulk.
That looks better to me.
My invitation was for an abomination. Power to bring about the world's annihilation.
Well, tough titties, huh?
Not this half-broken thing. Whatever am I to do with you?
Meet me in the pit.
And I see you insist on keeping the same familiar company. Are you so lost without them?
Well, they do basically have to bully us into taking part in the story, so...
Who is lost without the familiar.
Ah, sick burnish, Dola.
Not content with remaking an entire city, you aim to fill it with the reconstituted souls of the dead.
I may have gotten a little in my attention to detail. Added a few
It's candle time.
Well, there's no point trying to hide it. Yes. Once the rejoining of worlds is complete, Zodiac will regain his full strength and shatter his prison. Then we shall offer up the Source's remaining inhabitants in sacrifice, that we might resurrect our brethren who died to bring Zodiac into existence. But what was it that you came here to do exactly?
Ah, fuck about. I came here to stop you.
Did you know? One last do-or-die attempt to foil my plans before your mind dissolves into madness.
Yes, actually.
How very, very heroic of you. In every single age, there is always someone who wants to stand up to the evil Asians. Always the same arrogance, the same insistence that the world belongs to them, as if theirs were the only rightful claim, theirs the only existence worthy of preservation. Even now, after everything, you refuse to see reason. You think it unfair that you are subject to suffering, that your lives will be sacrificed for the ancients. Look at me. I have lived 1,000 of your
Wee
lives.
wee 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 wee. Wee 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 wee.
Fought with you, grown ill, grown old, sired children, and yes, welcomed death's sweet embrace. For eons have I measured your worth and found you wanting. Too weak and feeble-minded to serve as stewards of any star.
Like, tough titties, dude.
Have your recent spats with Vorthri and his Zinnies taught you nothing? Have you not learned that your ignorance and frailty beget only endless misery? How long do you
Well, I mean, they kind of do and have.
History unfold as I have, you would reach the same conclusion. You cannot be entrusted with our legacy. I will bring back our brethren, our friends, our loved ones. The world belongs to us and us alone.
Sorry, I'm fucking about with the colour correction on my camera while he cutscenes. I think it got messed around at some point. I feel very washed out. I desaturated too far.
We understand, truly, but it makes no difference. The ones you love are in the past, while ours are here in the present.
Might just be my second screen, to be honest.
One day, we too will be ashes and dust, but not today. Our time is not yet finished. We share your conviction, and that is why we will not abandon our course.
The thing is, the original plan, which is, you know, sacrifice.
You think your tattered soul of equal worth to those I lost? Then come, earn your place. Prove yourself
We will.
worthy to inherit this star. Behold, the coming oblivion. 'Twas the end of our era and the beginning of our great work.
This is so, it's so good. I do love this expansion.
For your final judgment. I shall wait within, but do not spend too much time on your preparations. There's no telling how much longer the guest of honor will last.
Bad. Don't hurt the cat boy. We're here to save the cat boy. Was it's the fact that it's to restore their past, like, ideal world means the destruction of all currently existing worlds. That's just something I cannot be doing with. Like, especially given that my headcanon, though I don't think it's ever been confirmed, is that their doom was a result of basically they created too much and they essentially brought about their own destruction. It's, for me, it's always been very much that, like, let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, Pugsworth, come on. Yeah, so it's always been like, can't be dealing with this, you know, mass slaughter to bring about a past. And yeah, because in my head, regardless of whether or not it's ever been confirmed, they basically went overboard in their creation magics, and that's why you know, all this happened. Because of that, I find it difficult to be like, yeah, well, you know, it's I don't know. I have mixed feels, is what I'm saying. I have very mixed feels. And to illustrate those mixed feels, I shall go fly around and spend this queue time picking up the bits that I don't have on the map. It's really good. This expansion is very thought-provoking in that sense, and I definitely had a lot more sympathy for Selk before the fandom got to him. I also feel like Ashard would have a measure of sympathy for him on the basis of, again, being willing to do anything to save your home, which, you know, he's totally down with. The trade-off is that those two are fundamentally incompatible. You know, for Selk's plan to come to fruition, necessary requires the destruction of the source, including, you know, Ishgard, which is, you know, Ashard's, just about Ashard's everything. And so, you know, he may have sympathy for the man on the basis of, you know, I don't want to say emotional sympathy, but that sort of like a similarity in that devotion to a singular thing sense. He's still going to be like, but, you know, our two desires are antithetical, therefore I cannot support yours. I think is how he'd see it. I don't know, it's interesting. It's always interesting to think about. That for me is the joy of playing with the same story over with different characters, is it gives you different ways to think about the same story, because you know, none of my characters have any sympathy. None of my characters would ever agree with Selk, but Ashard is the only one who has any measure of sympathy. Myron's the Tankiol, who I have not yet. I've made her, I just haven't played much on her. Her sense of morality is such that this is unconscionable, and she could never justify or sanction or agree with this. You know, her thinking's always just, that's terrible, don't do that. And really, sort of regardless of whether or not you agree, it's completely understandable thought process, I think. Your mileage may vary. And certainly Maeve's thinking, you know, they don't agree with what Selk wants, but at the same time, they love the idea of Amaurot, and so they are almost more tempted, but it's because the idea of going back to a previous perfect sense of self and, you know, existing as a researcher primarily is what they would want to go back and be in, you know, this city, in this culture that's devoted to learning and practice and the learning of magic. That's a very Maeve thing to be into. You got anything? No. I was hoping I would be able to buy some gear, but alas, 'twas not to be. Instead, somebody dropped out of the queue, and now we all have to sit here waiting for them to come back. The point which I'm trying to make, and I have no doubt failing epically to do, is that it's fun to play the same game over and over on multiple characters, to imagine their different responses to it, even if the story ultimately always forces you into the same direction of, you know, this is bad, you have to stop him. But, you know, they can do it for different reasons. I mean, Maeve, like, they love the idea of Amaurot, but they don't want to die. They don't want to become a Light Warden, and they don't want to see all their friends dead, you know, for the sake of a long distant past. You know, they may be a researcher, they may be, you know, a scholar, but then that's not what they're about. And Ashada's just like he can relate to Selk's desire and he can understand why Selk would do what he does, but for him it's the fact that the two are completely incompatible. As a complete aside, thanks Midge, warming up my horns, I would really like to see some jewellery that's actually like proper horn caps, I can't zoom in on his face any more than this, but some sort of like specific jewellery that actually, rather than being like earrings that sort of dangle painfully from your horns, are actually like designed around the horns. I think that would be pretty neat if you ask me. Not of course that anyone did, but nonetheless that's what I think. But that would be really cool. I also took off the headgear so you could see his face better, but I do like the he has now double horns. He's clearly got like holes in the helmet for his actual horns, and then he's got these fake ones too. Oh come on Pugsworth, I'm bored. Pugsworth, I'm bored now. Just please give me some jewelry. I'm almost tempted to do it with trusts, except I like running things with puggies for the first time. Anybody online? Okay, the two people who are both in things. There we go. While we wait for puggies. Can stand here dramatically. Wish I had something interesting to do during this queue time, but all we've got is to wait for people to queue. Do. Hurry up, meow. Sorry, my brain's like stalled out. I have like nothing interesting to say. Just waiting for... It's gonna be even worse when we're trying to get into Hades, I guess. I'm so frustrated that that one person joined and then immediately left. Like, god damn it. The fact that everybody who's online is in thing. Like that one whose company is just :D. Really like to find an EU FC that's open to recruiting, but at the same time, making friends with people, socializing. Being a human who talks to other people cannot be dealing with it. Let's sit here in eye camera for a bit. I'm brain empty, no thoughts. Only desire for people to please queue for level 80. Please make my life easier. If you have a character on Light Data Center, please come queue for Amaurot with me. It'd be very much appreciated. Cry softly. Yeah, I can't... Very much a brain empty, no thoughts moment. To be honest, like, tomorrow I'm going into the office and then I'm coming home, tidying up a bit before Mum gets here, streaming a normal Lost Phone tomorrow, or starting that at least, for Indie Pride, and then it's like Mum's coming to pick me up early Thursday morning, going down to London, spending the weekend in London with my family. I won't get to see any of my friends, of course, because we're all still social distancing, but I will at least get to see my family and like hang out with my mum and my brother and my dog for my birthday, which is the main thing, but that's all I can think about at this point. That's like all my brain can concentrate on, is the fact that I am going away. I'm getting a proper break, not just like I'm not working but I'm still sitting at my computer, you know, for 8 hours every day, but it's more than that, you know. Wake up, sit at my computer, play video games all day, get up, make dinner, play video games all evening, go to bed, and fuck up my sleep schedule completely. It's what am I saying? I'm excited to have a break from that. Even if I can't go anywhere or see anyone, I am really excited to have a break. At the same time, work is forever stressful and horrible. And I've now got 2.5 months to plan a move-in across the world. So, especially given that I don't actually know if I'm going to be able to, I'm really hoping I can, but you know, I don't know for sure. So I'm just constantly Googling when will I be okay to fly to the States again. Please, I just want to... If I withdrew and re-queued, do you think it would do anything? Probably not, but I'm gonna try it anyway. It still says wait time 13 minutes. Bugger. And what's worse, I've totally fucked up my candle, so it's going to tunnel even worse than it already was. I want to look up a thing, that reminds me. Here we go. Amaurot music. EU orchestrion log. Go. Dark quarters. Okay. We can get it for achieving rank 3 in the fate grind. I have not done any of that. Yeah, go fly out and talk to the gemstone trader to unlock that, I guess. And yes, I will fly rather than teleport because it saves money and also is something to do. This is where it turns out I spend all my time just flying around and unlocking these for everything. I'm sorry I keep going out of focus, by the way. What's that? I think my camera's having a little bit of a heart attack, but you know what? That's okay. It happens to all of us. It really is more trouble than it's worth, this camera, but oh well. Joe Exotic himself is here and running to starter. I keep checking because I keep thinking, what if I put up like a party finder for Sig. I have nothing. Don't yell at me. I've been brave and put in link shell, see if anyone wants to join for an Amaurot. For a second there I got excited and thought we had one of one tank. I was wrong. Me yelling softly, please, for the love of fuck, somebody queue for this stupid dungeon. Phew. Please. Please, Puggies. Please. Come on, Tanko. Come on, Tanko. You can do it. Please. Please. I'm crossing both fingers and a toe. Come on, Tanksworth. Please. I'm so bored. I still need to queue for the trial after this. Phew. If anybody leaves, I can and will cry. I'm also so glad I'm not a healer, because I hate healing this dungeon with all my heart and soul.
Welcome to the final days of Amaurot.
No thanks. I'd rather not. Like, can I not? Is that allowed? Valid to just not?
The fabric of our star began to fray, and the unchecked energies of creation begat malformed beasts.
It is very loud in here, by the way, so if it's too loud, let me know, and I will turn my audio down. Ah, whoops, I will also back up my rotation, but that's okay. Detonator, that's what I want to beat up. There we go. I appear to be dropping some frames, which is not great. I'm not sure what's causing that, but if you see frames dropping on stream, it's because they're dropping IRL as well. IRL, off stream. God, I feel like I say this every time I play on Dragoon. The thing that I really miss is I miss Monk's ability to swap what rotation you're in the middle of the rotation. I really miss being able to be like, okay, well we've gone back to under 3 enemies now, so I'll swap back to my single target rotation. Fabric of our star began to fray, and the unchecked energies of creation began malformed beasts. Leaving nothing except bad. That's all it left. It left bad, and also worse. Left me super glad that I'm not healing, because as I mentioned earlier, I hate healing this dungeon with all my heart and soul. It is probably one of my least favourite dungeons to heal in general. It is such a nightmare. Any day I'm not healing it is a day that I'm happy. And I wish I was joking here, but I'm being completely serious. Unfortunately, I was also part of the problem by not noticing that the boiler existed. It's me. I'm the problem. Primals. Dread made manifest our deepest fears. Okay, buddy. This is butt, and this is side. And that's your health mnemonic for remembering your positionals. Butt and then side. There we go. Ah, piss. Right. I'm so annoyed with everything in general. I'm absolutely fucked up there. Please pretend I didn't. I will feel bad about myself. I am sorry, by the way, for so many frame drops. It's because I live in hell. Ah, piss. So close to not being hit, and yet, so far. On the other hand, I am a dragoon. It is my God's given right to floor tank. And that's what I will do. Oh, I totally had that positional. You piece of shit. That time it was because the boss moved. That time it was not me. Ow. Once again, my God's given right to floor tank. Just got a really nice breeze. Very satisfying. Thus did our first doom befall us. It's not, however, to be a bit of dialogue that I missed by accident. Boom. This breeze is really genuinely so satisfying. I make this healer love me by accident actually beating up the Roilers. There we go. Oh, good breeze and outdoor smells coming in right now. If you see me make any weird faces, it's just because I'm enjoying the chill of how abruptly breezy and cool it is compared to how warm it's been recently. I have been very warm of late. Breeze smells. Feels so good. Nice. Tasty healing gear. Nope. Nope, come back this way. Yes, I can. And indeed will. Walk straight into that. I am sorry for the frames are dropping in game, by the way. So yeah, like I said, if they're dropping in stream, it's because they're dropping in real life too. This is not. This is something up with my game, I think. My guess is it's that I have too many things open. But seeing as I'm scared of closing anything, lest something else break, we must live in this hell together. And enjoy the secret world ghosties together. They even make the gross noises that the secret world ghosties make. Nice. God, I'm so glad that this has been pushed up to 30. It just makes it so much better as like... Okay, do that. Immediately into this. What I'm getting right now is a really nice combination of candle smell and fresh outdoor smell, and it's really nice. Just in case you were wondering what the sensation of being in my apartment is like right now, it's actually not terrible for once. Right. Fuck this dude up. Sometimes you just want to yell, hey. The more you move it, the more of a pain in the ass it is for me to attack. Like, just by the by. If you wanted me to help, you are not making it easy. I'd love to be in Ad Hell forever. It's my favourite thing to do, artificially inflate my DPS with doing lots of AoE damage. Time to start with a gross noise. Right. You're back. You are back. And it's time to It's time. That's it. That's all. It's time.
Just a little further.
Yet it was neither claws nor flame, but our very sins.
End of a world.
Right. Fine. I'm going to fuck you up, specifically. Because you are annoying. That's what they all say to me, no doubt. Have fucked that rotation up, but that's okay. I can swap to my AoE rotation, which is much easier and less stressful. We can enjoy the excellent music. We've not got a roiler. So there's that, I suppose. I did absolutely waste this Blood of the Dragon bow owl.
The star was we swore we had to weave its laws anew.
It's the sound I wake up when I wake up. That's the sound I make when I wake up in the morning. Ugh. Oops. Definitely didn't mean to do that. Oh well. Please take this motherfucker off my back. I don't want it. Thank you. Please and also thank you. Is very appreciated. That's the kind of shit I just can't be dealing with right now. Don't need that sort of negativity in my life. Nor do I need this gross thing covered in eyeballs in my life, but hey, that was indeed just how it be. There we go. Pop here. Do this. I'm good at this game. I know how to play Dragoon. Please stop moving it around. I would desperately like to hit my positionals.
But between us and our goal loomed a final misbegotten fiend.
Goth pipe organ. Here we go. Time for me to have fun going very slowly. How rude. Ah! There we go. Sorry, the panic was because I'm bad. That's what the panic was for. It's alright, I'm not dead yet though, so it's not all terrible. Just having to focus very hard on my rotation. But, you know, that is indeed just how it be in this bitch of world. I cannot see a fucking thing. I hope you all know this. Ow. Ow. Thank you for saying meow. This fight is really... don't know, I'll fuck you up a bit. I should set up some macros for Dragon Sight actually, shouldn't I? Ow! Fucked up so hard I messed up my rotation. You hate to see it, folks. Okay. So close. Come on. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I remember my first time ever running that. I had such an awful time. I think we wiped 2 or 3 times specifically on that fight. It was rough. Okay. What am I gonna roll on the shoe bill? Nothing. I will get a belt though. Well, I got next to nothing from that, but that's okay. I got a comm at least. just enjoy the cutscene. I like that when I rolled on that show, but it didn't even show me what my role was. It was just like, you've lost it.
Well, you prevail.
Wheel, wheel, wheel.
Nevertheless, your performance was underwhelming, and I remain unconvinced of your work.
Slash slap.
Oh, the tower of your misbegotten ilk, no doubt. But should I bring my full strength to bear, well, you would be as leaves in the wind.
Sure thing, buddy-o.
The gulf between us is a reflection of the disparity between the world as it was and what it has become.
Oh, Alice,
Our worlds may not live up to your lofty standards, but they are our worlds, our homes, full of life and love and hope.
Lovely speech, Alice, but he will not listen.
And let you destroy them.
Alizé!
You are a mistake.
Speak for yourself, dude.
For we who have known the shattered source of these shards are ghastly mockeries of the true world. The ephemeral lives you exalt are pale imitations, utterly devoid of meaning.
How rude.
Belittle us all you like, but we will rise again and again, and give the lie to your insults through word and deed. We define our worth, not the circumstances of our creation.
More prattle.
Angry meow. You can tell shit's got serious because I tried to put his helmet back on.
Fool. Who are you? No one. Nothing.
Just a dude who
Claimed my heritage.
really wants to go home.
Act will be to expunge your stain from history's weave. My world will have no need for heroes.
He's not a hero. He's a very lonely boy. Oh, I made myself sad. I tried to make a Monty Python reference and instead I made myself sad. Ugh. I wish I had a shield that could do that.
It is true that all we hold dear is fated to fade away. But that is no reason for us to forsake it.
To take what steps we may, and thus mark the road for those who would follow. To strive for the best of all futures. Be this not also thy purpose?
I totally forgotten about all this, by the way, so I'm getting distracted by how much I enjoy it.
Do not presume to speak of my future.
Sulk is such a good villain. He's probably one of my favourite villains we've had so far because he's interesting. He's possibly more sympathetic than any of the others.
Final moments in futile defiance.
I feel like he's also the most powerful one we faced so far.
You've no fight left to fight, no life left to live. You see, the light will not be denied. Surrender to your fate and let the transformation take you.
Absolutely not.
Rise up in madness and fury. Devour the vermin infesting the land which is rightfully ours.
Bless you, Thancred. Always try your hardest.
Fight it. You have to hold on.
That was such a stupid face that he made. Makes me giggle, but I never saw any of this before because with Maeve I had the head on for the whole thing, so I never got to see their expressions, but...
If you had the strength to take another step, could you do it? Could you save our worlds?
What? All by myself? God, these cutscenes are so good! I love this expansion so much. Oh, the theme too. I'm sorry for the screenshot noises, but I have to.
We fight as one. This world is not yours to end. This is our future. Our story.
No, it can't be.
The honey nut fuels!
That trick of the light. You are a broken husk, nothing more.
The feels.
Stand against me alone.
We stand together.
The feels.
How? I'm surprised you can stand at all.
Don't hurt the cat boy. He's a good boy.
I could not well leave matters half finished. Let expanse contract, eon become instant. Champions from beyond the rift, heed my call!
This was such a good moment. I really...
Damn you all!
I love her so much. It ends this way. One way or another, it ends.
Very well. Let us proceed to your final judgment. The victor shall write the tale, and the vanquished become its villain. But come, let us cast aside titles and pretense, and reveal our true faces to one another. I am Hades, he who shall awaken our brethren from their dark slumber.
The feels. Let's do it. Sit here and rot in the queue for ages. Almost tempted to put up a duty finder. Seeing as the queue time is more than 30 minutes. Nobody's online. Ah, I've got deep seas. Just need tanks. I'll keep refreshing Party Finder in case it comes up, but I doubt it will. I imagine I'll be sitting here for 5 years waiting for people, but no, come back, Deep Seas. I need you. I feel like if I make a party finder, it will never pop either, you know? Unless people are just like, I'm bored. Master B, why aren't you on, why aren't you here on Odin so you can help me pop the queues? Right. We'll wait 5 minutes and see how the queue's doing. If we've not got anywhere after 5 minutes, I'll form a party finder and see if that goes any better. Honestly, once we get tanks and DPS for the party finder, we can probably snag a couple of DPS just through duty finder. It's always the tanks and healers that are hardest. I only just noticed that the person there's written is Cole book instead of Chloe book, which is fair. I'm so excited to run through this on my tank main character so that she does not have to run queues for ages. It'll make such a nice change, you know? Come on. Come on, Puggies, queue for Trial Finder. Trial Finder? Jesus, Trials Roulette. I really want to get this done tonight so that when I come back it will be like our return. It'll be like the dramatic return. I don't want to save this. Like I don't want to leave off at this like massive what's the word I'm looking for? Cliffhanger, I guess. But it's like, we're in the big fight. We're gonna do the big fight next week. I'd rather get it done tonight and then it's over, and then not next week, but the week after next we can start to like pick up from that. Okay, we've got a healer in the queue. Need more deeps. Put it in the in the link shell that I'm queuing. Either people will buy it or they won't. Either is fine. Once again, I've got nothing interesting to say. I'm just sitting here, refreshing, hoping people will join. I'm gonna put a party finder up. What? Oh, I see. There we go. I'm stupid. Okay, there we go. Trials, the dying gasp. Click members. That's better. It wasn't showing up. I wish you could do a party finder and a duty finder at the same time. Like just talking about the other duty finders. Right. Okay. Hopefully we'll be able to get some tanks and healers and then just throw us into duty finder. please, puggies. Please join. Although at this point I'm kind of worried that I'm not going to have time to do it. With the cutscenes afterwards. Okay, I'll wait 5 more minutes. If we don't get a full party in 5 minutes, I'm going to say, sorry, I have to go. And then not next week, but the week after next, we will start here. And move on from there. In the meantime, we'll sit here enjoying the music and waiting for people to join. Us to be... Can make a character on Odin and power level them up to 80 to help me pop cues. Meow. In the meantime, you can enjoy the rockin' music. Almost closed OBS there like a fool. I don't think I'm gonna have time to do this, annoyingly. Like that one anime weapon. Thing is, if you're level 80, you can run through those unsynced and just get it done. Yeah. Don't need puggies for that. Unsync it, do it by yourself. I know refreshing Party Finder doesn't actually help, but I'm doing it anyway just in case another, like, normal mode pops up and we can join that one instead. Man. Amaurot as a city is just a place I have such a weakness for, and then this section in the story is so good. And I think it works really well with Ashard being, at this point, basically a creature of pure spite. But then also the fact that, you know, the light is causing him such pain. I always headcanon his echo visions basically come as splitting headaches. And so this sort of dizziness that he has, it's not, oh, I'm having a hallucination. It's him being like, ah, shit, I've got this splitting headache, and abruptly this, you know, I know this thing, but it's very painful for him to have the echo visions. Okay. Yes, quit using Party Finder. Join. Still saying more than 30 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna wait another 2 minutes, and if we're not getting anywhere, I'm gonna say, thank the person who joined my party. Yeah, it's also the fact that the light causes him such pain, which for me is like, I like this person whose name is Boosted Beta Dubs. At least there's some honesty in the world. As, you know, a lot of what he does is basically propelled, he's basically bullied into doing things. he doesn't do it out of really any willingness, but because he's basically told, you have to or else. And then he's like, well, everything sucks. Right, we've got about 5 minutes to go. So I am going to end stream here because there is, to me, no point in queuing, given that barely gonna have time to do it. I'm not gonna be able to watch any of the cutscenes or indeed anything else. So I am unfortunately going to end things off here. Gonna say thank you very much for watching. It is very much appreciated, and I do hope that you enjoyed. I will be streaming a normal Lost Phone next week for next week, Jesus, on Wednesday. I know how words work. On Wednesday, I will be streaming a normal Lost Phone for Indie Pride. Spam Party, there we go. So that will be good. I know next to nothing about the game, so I'm very intrigued. And then after that, there will be no streams for an entire week because I am going on holiday. Even though I'm not actually going anywhere, I'm just going down to London, but nonetheless, holiday is where I am going. And so I will be streaming tomorrow, and then not until next Wednesday will I be streaming again. So that is definitely a thing. Nonetheless, throughout June and possibly onwards, I am still raising money for the Bale project via Tiltify. If you want to donate, the link is going to appear in chat in just a moment. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, it is, oh Jesus, I'm alt-tabbing into all the wrong places. Once again, my shift key is a nightmare. If you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be down in the description. I'm sorry to end stream a little bit early, but we're not going to have time to do anything. So when we pick back up the week after next, we'll be picking back up with starting off with the Dying Gasp. So a nice dramatic start to the stream. That will probably wind up just me being stuck in DPSQ for ages. Anyway, take care everybody, have a wonderful evening, do look after yourselves, be excellent to each other, and I shall see you guys tomorrow.